GamerCast Network.
Hey. All right. It's a video game show. It's a video game show. It's not a game show about videos. It's a video game show.
Welcome to the GamerCast Network video game show for Friday, June 29th, 2007. This is episode number 44. I'm Chad, and this week for the roll call, when I say your name, tell me your least favorite class in a role-playing game. And joining me this evening is Ivan.
Hi there. I think my least favorite class is probably healers or white mages.
Also joining me this evening is Phil.
I kind of agree with Ivan. I least like playing the healer in an RPG. Although, on the contrary, I did enjoy playing, the healing defender in City of Heroes.
Bob.
Bard. Those are the characters I don't even bother making to try. So I'm just like, no. They're supposed to be sort of good at everything, which means they suck.
And also joining us this evening is the GamerCast Network forum moderator, Duff.
I've always hated white mages. Everyone I've ever played with in an MMO has been a total ass, so...
I guess I'm going to have to join in on the white mage hating, because I never really found being the healer fun at all. In GamerCast Network community news, check out Podtacular, episode number 117, where they talk about the Halo 3 augmented reality game Iris. Also, go check out Uncle Gamer Radio's interview with Ken Levine, who is the creative director for the upcoming title BioShock. And finally, go check out episode number 105 of Gamertag Radio, where they interview the guys from Ninja Bee about Band of Bugs. And also, go check out their big announcement for their upcoming E3 coverage. Finally, a reminder about the video game show's gaming giveaway. We're giving away 3 PC strategy games to whoever gives us the best audio question. The games include Nexus, The Jupiter Incident, Master of Orion 3, and Laser Squad Nemesis. You can either send it via Skype at Video Game Show, or you can call us at 320-300-GAME. That is a standard long-distance call, and all normal fees apply. When you submit your question, be sure you leave us a way to contact you.
Next topic.
Here's a little message from Microsoft's own Chris Palladino and Tom.
Hey everybody, it's MC Fragsalot, and I am here on Microsoft's campus with Xbox Community Manager, Chris Palladino. So Chris, this summer you have a lot of events going on, and you're going to be out in the community. Like, how can people meet you and the rest of the Xbox community team?
So E3 coming very soon. It's a slightly scaled back, more you have to be on a list type of attendance this year. But we're going to have a couple days worth of stuff, so we're trying to get some community members into the briefing, so the big hoopla where Microsoft will kind of talk about what's coming here. And what's kind of interesting is they're being cool in it's for press, it's for journalists, but they're allowing community folks to come in.
Would that be like MVPs? Or would that also be, webmasters? Or what if I lived in Santa Monica and I'm just an Xbox fan? Can I show up?
If you live in Santa Monica and you're an Xbox fan, you can email me, gsblog@microsoft.com, and we cannot make any promises, but we can see how our head count is. We got a lot of questions like, hey dude, should I fly out to E3 and spend my own money? I recommend highly that you save that money for PAX instead. The next thing after E3 is San Diego Comic-Con. There will be something going on there. We're not sure what. I'm definitely going to be there. I'll have to talk to my boy since we're old pals now, Todd. I'll be visiting with Mr. McFarlane. As I know, there's some feelings on the GamerCast Network on Todd McFarlane. Let's just say this. I knew those feelings. I knew the stereotypes. Todd's actually pretty cool.
I'm sure people who rolled in Hitler's posse were like, he's a great guy, Adolf, he's fun.
Wow, I don't even know how to transition off of a Nazi comment. Oh, what's after Comic-Con? After Comic-Con is PAX, which is the Penny Arcade Expo, and we have the pleasure of having it in our own backyard here in the Seattle, Washington Convention Center. That is the end of August, the 20-something of August. And it's a 3-day event, and I know a lot of the GamerCast Network guys are going to be coming up here for PAX. I want to say it's like $60 for a 3-day ticket, well worth it. There'll be a lot of cool community stuff going down there. It's for the community. It's not an event like E3 where it's targeted toward journalists. So this is for the gamers. This is for the dudes that want to come and wander around and look at, everything from geeky pen and paper games to computer games. What are you doing? Are you going to be at any of these things? What are you planning on attending?
I will be at PAX. Anyone who wants to meet me, I guess we're going to organize on the forums, and I know we want to do something with all the other podcasts. So Gamertag Radio, Uncle Gamer Radio, Podtacular, and the Video Game Show, we're all going to do something. We don't know what yet. Watch the websites.
Do you know if Keith is going to be there? My brother Keith, will he be at PAX? Because I heard in a recent podcast that he was going to punch you, and he promised. So maybe we can have an event where we could watch Keith punch you. I would pay money to see that. He would probably cave your chest in, though. Keith's a big dude. So what else is new with you? You've been on hiatus, but you keep coming on the forums every day.
Yeah, I know, because I'm lazy and I should be doing other things.
So what are you working on? Have you told anyone?
Yeah, my master's thesis. My goal is to finish it by Team Fortress 2. And that their release date for that is in October or something.
So, all right, so an interesting assumption that I've just made here is that you can tell how geeky you are by the due dates in your life revolve around title release dates.
Yeah.
That's a sign.
Next topic.
Follow up to the poll question here that we had from last week, which was, do our listeners think that the Manhunt 2 shenanigans was a publicity stunt on the part of Rockstar and Take-Two?
That seems to be the consensus. I've listened to a bunch of podcasts this week, and it sounds like that's what everyone's thinking.
It would be too dumb of a move for them to make a game that got an AO unintentionally.
Well, okay, I would have to go into the camp that it probably is not a publicity stunt, just because of some of the things I've been reading from the people who have seen all the content of the game. Because really, most people haven't seen all the content of the game. And if you read the BBFC, when they came out and said, why they gave it, when they banned it, they were basically saying that there really isn't anything that can be cut from the game. The overall sadistic, violent nature of the game itself is what made it not publishable.
Oh no, I kind of look at it the same way with the whole Bully thing. We heard about Bully, and from our understanding and the way it was pitched to us forever, everybody assumed it was going to be this horrible bullying game, and when it finally came out, it was not what everybody expected, and it ended up flying under the radar. And while I don't expect Manhunt 2 to exactly fly under the radar, it's another situation where I think Rockstar is going to let people get themselves all riled up and expect the worst, and then when it comes out, they're going to be like, see, you guys were worrying about nothing, just like they did with Bully.
Although the thing is, this is really the most perfect time for Manhunt 2 to come out. If they have to delay it around the time of Halo or that time frame, at the same time, that's when Grand Theft Auto 4 is going to be coming out. And that would take, I'm sure this would get sales just because it's this hoopla, but still, I could see it detracting a little from sales.
It's going to be such a busy fall anyway, yeah, I would imagine they have to get it out if they expect it to do anything. I want to see the scene where supposedly you rip off somebody's head and then dry hump them.
See?
That's what I read someplace, and I just want to know.
See,
if it's
I don't
really
think
in
it
there.
would be really dry.
Oh.
I think there'd be a lot of blood, and blood is kind of, slippery.
Well, apparently our listeners are kind of half and half on the subject. About 55% said they thought it was a publicity stunt, and about 45% said they thought the game would get an M rating. So there you go.
There you go.
Next topic.
Okay, so I guess we haven't done a what are we playing. What the hell? What are we playing? Ivan, what are you playing nowadays?
I am playing Titan Quest a lot. I've been neglecting my 360, but today when I got home from work, I downloaded a couple Xbox Live games. I liked Band of Bugs enough that I actually bought that game. It's essentially Final Fantasy Tactics with bugs, which is cool because Final Fantasy Tactics was one of my favorite games.
And do the actual individual bugs have, abilities?
Yeah, like the grasshoppers are the rangers, mantises, which are the melee guys.
So can the evil guys in the game just hire a human to come over and step on the whole damn thing?
That's a summon.
Leave a 20 on the ground, it's a summon.
I also been playing some Mad Tracks. That's a cool game. That's a kind of like an RC race game where you are, instead of regular cars, you're little RC cars, so you're racing on the little plastic tracks through houses and stuff. They've got actually lots of cool modes. Like there's a dartboard mode where you race down a track, go off a ramp, and you have to land on a bullseye and get points. And then, although I'm not playing them, I have Shadowrun for the 360 and Age of Empires for the DS sitting on a shelf unopened because Titan Quest has sucked the very soul from my being.
Bob, are you playing anything beyond watching Ratatouille and hating rats?
I play as Titan Quest. Not true. I pulled out Serious Sam 2 because now I can play it. I've been playing that too.
A lot of people did not like that one, as I recall, compared to Serious Sam. What is your take on Serious Sam 2?
I thought it was a sequel.
Okay.
Meaning I put it in and everything had improved, so I had no problem with it.
Phil, I think you're still doing your World of Warcraft thing.
Yeah, I've kind of given up on my hunter, and I've been playing my rogue. I've gotten from level 35 to 41 over the last month. Kind of considering getting Battlefield 2042.
Because you like in-game ads that much.
Yeah, that's exactly why I want to get that game.
Were you a big fan of the 1942 and 2?
Oh yeah, I loved 1942, and I enjoyed Battlefield 2, but I think I like 1942 a little bit better.
Duff, what are you playing around nowadays?
I've spent a lot of time on Paint Shop Pro 360. I mean Forza 2, and
Nice.
and that's really all I've been playing. And then I got 4 games that I rented for my 3-day weekend that I hope to review by the end of the weekend. So I'll be playing some Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Transformers, The Darkness, and Monster Madness.
I haven't been doing much Titan Quest because I started playing The Darkness a little, and I was doing that PlayStation portable game called Crush, which is the one that goes from 3D to 2D.
How is that?
At first, when you look at it, you think it's a platformer, like jump around, hop, and do things, but it's really not a platformer as much as a puzzle game, because the whole idea is you have to collect so many coins in a level to open up the exit. And the way you move around the level is in 3D. However, some parts you can't get to, like, there's a platform that's too far away. But however, if I were to crush a dimension down, the platforms line up so I can walk right over to the other one, then uncrush and be back in the true 3D space on the place I couldn't get to before. It's kind of like there's a whole other lot more aspects to it. There's a lot of more complicated puzzles. I think it's be one of those quirky sleeper puzzle games for the PlayStation Portable.
Next topic.
I have finally upgraded to Vista temporarily, kind of.
For now.
Little caveat in there.
And it looks nice.
That's a nice splash screen.
Yeah. I picked up Halo 2 and Shadowrun. It rates me at a 5.3, so I should be able to run things, decent. However, when I go into Shadowrun, it don't run so well at relatively high resolution with all anti-aliasing turned off, so I wasn't too happy. I had to drop the resolution pretty hard to get it to run fluid. Probably has to do with my video card. I'm not in the bleeding edge yet with the 8800 GTX. I have 7800 GTs and SLI, and SLI doesn't like Vista too much, but it still should run better than what it does, which isn't very good.
Did it really prompt you 10 times within the first 5 minutes to do things?
When I first loaded it up and I just went on Internet Explorer, just go download Firefox every few seconds, but it drove me to trying to figure out how to turn that off, which you can turn off.
It's a poor means of security, from what I understand. To just ask you every single time you want anything to happen on your computer if it's allowable.
Yeah, and then when you get the actual prompt that is the evil thing, you'll just accidentally hit yes and say okay.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, if you have Windows Live OneCare, which is Microsoft's spyware virus stuff, if you turn off that security thing, Live OneCare constantly complains that your computer has a security risk.
Sweet. You've connected to the internet. This is affecting your security status. Please disconnect from the internet.
Although if you want to play games like Crysis in their full glory, like I'm sure Bob and most of us will want to, you're going to have to use Vista, because that's the only way you can get DirectX 10. Although there are guys out there who are hacking it to make it work on XP.
I'm going to guess that's never going to really succeed terribly well and probably end up corrupting something, and I'll just end up upgrading to Vista anyway.
Yeah, so I think if people want to actually get into playing the Hellgate London, because Hellgate London is going to support DirectX 10. It doesn't require it, but it's going to support it. If you want to play it in all its glory with Crysis and all those games, you're going to need to go to DirectX 10. Which is Vista.
If I leave it DirectX 9, it will run faster. I want to run a constant 90 frames per second, even though my monitor can't support it, just as long as I know. If I know that if it's chunking away that fast, it'll make me happy.
When I first fired up Halo 2, they had anti-aliasing turned on. I was like, I don't want this.
I'm going to need to see that pixel move in the background. I don't want to be out. That's a guy. That's something I need to shoot in the face. Just saying. Things need shooting in the face.
Next topic.
Mary just came over today and informed me that she purchased The Darkness. We haven't gotten to play that, but I'm looking forward to that a lot because that sounds like a super sweet game.
Well, I can throw in there. I've played it a little. I've only put about 2 or 3 hours into it because I picked it up because I'm a big fan of the comic book and a big fan of the company that made the game as well. These are the guys that made Chronicles of Riddick, which was a very good game. And so far, it's a good game. It's just they really made the main character pretty lame, Jackie Estacado. He's really, really emo in this game, whereas in reality, in the comic book, not in reality, in the comic book, he's more of a womanizing, wheeling and dealing, fast lane kind of guy. But other than that, it's pretty cool. In one point in the game, you visit your girlfriend's apartment, and she asks you to sit down and watch TV. And you sit down, and your guy watches TV, and they start showing To Kill a Mockingbird, the Gregory Peck film. And I'm sitting there watching it, 5 minutes passes. I'm waiting for the looping to happen or something to stop the movie. Oh no, the full movie is in the game.
Really?
The entire movie.
Yeah, it's all in there.
They should give you an
Wow.
achievement for that.
They really should.
Oh, the darkness has motion blur.
Really?
Yes, it does. And Ivan, you'll find this out. If you turn your head really, really fast, you will blur.
That's actually almost
Oh,
cool.
you don't mean personally. I had.
He's sitting here twisting his head back and forth.
Need a
wow,
way to-
It does get kind of blurry.
How did developers implement that?
When you move the joystick fast to left and right, the screen will blur. At first, I thought it was a problem with the monitor. I have a new 37-inch 1080p LCD, and I was like playing it, and it blurred, and I was like, oh my god, what's wrong?
Oh, dude, yeah, that would have sucked.
And I was like, oh no, that's in there, supposed to be in there. I was like, okay, that's good.
Next topic.
Should we talk about the 360s breaking in mass droves?
Is there anything else to talk about? I mean,
I guess on our forums is that a lot of people have been commenting recently that their 360s have been breaking left and right. Satan Bananas broke, 30-foot screw, Sander Scampers. I think there's another guy, Chad28, had his break as well. Also, Nate Dogg's broke, but his didn't do red rings. The actual drive itself broke. There was a store in the UK that, because of all the problems with 360 repairs, they stopped servicing them. And supposedly there are rumors out there that Best Buy is not honoring the warranties if you purchase an extended warranty. When you buy that 3-year protection plan, you're supposed to be able to go in and say, hey, mine broke, give me a new one. No, from now on, you have to actually send it off somewhere. You can't actually go to the store and do it.
Wow. Just have no working stock in store by the end of the day is probably what the problem was.
And Spate found an article explaining one of the causes of the failures is that I guess apparently when they laid out the 360, they did not do proper airflow over the GPU and CPU. So as the heat builds up, the solder connections get kind of loosened. And then I guess in the board itself, they had this big-ass X clamp holding it in place, and that causes uneven twisting of the board when it heats up. And that pops the connections on the GPU and CPU.
it's a feature.
Okay, Ivan, you're still on your first console.
Yeah.
Has it ever been flaky when playing certain games? Has it ever frozen or locked up on you?
Oh, all the time. Well, and by all the time, I mean out of all the consoles I've ever owned, the 360 has locked up on me more than any other.
Mine refuses to read discs a lot. I'll be playing Vegas and it'll go to load a board and just be like, you need to insert your disc. And I'm like, dude, I've been playing for 2 hours. You need to totally insert your disc. What the hell? Why don't you put in the disc? I mean, you've been playing for 3 hours. Put your damn disc in.
Take the disc out in the middle of the game. God, dumb.
My first one lasted about 8 months before it finally died out. And then I've had my current one for about 7 months now, and knock on wood, haven't had a single issue with it. And I've put in some marathon sessions on it too. So
Duff, when you sent yours back, did you have any issues with customer support at Microsoft?
I had a very ignorant individual that I dealt with that I seemed to know the policies a lot better than he did. And he was very adamant in telling me, no, it's not covered. No, we never extended our warranty. And I pretty much said, hey, do you want to give me your email address? I'll email you a copy of your press release saying that you extended it, if you'd like. And he said, well, hold on a minute. And I was on hold for like 15 minutes. He said, you know what? You're actually right. Like I was special. He said, and since you were so helpful, well, this is what cracked me up. He said, since you were so helpful and showed me that, I'm going to give you the opportunity to buy an extended warranty on your new system. I was like, dude, just send me my stuff and leave me alone.
Wow.
And I mean, aside from that, it only took one call, and mine actually broke the week of Christmas, and they got it to me within 10 days.
I was going to say, a couple of people overseas, Sander Scamper and 30-Foot Screw, when they had their dealings with customer support, they had very bad experiences, apparently. And they now have a newfound understanding of Rothbart's problems he had when he had with the whole issue with his account.
Oh, Roth had problems?
Oh, no, Rothbart had no problems with it. Him and Microsoft are tight.
Yeah, I've heard him speak nothing but good words about Microsoft and their customer service.
Next topic.
So nobody here beyond me has played with Games for Windows Live, so we really can't talk about that at all, even though it's crap.
I don't even understand so much Games for Windows Live. Is it something you download? Is
Okay.
it something that you install when you have a Games for Windows game?
No, that would be too easy.
That would be too easy, yes. I will explain to you.
I can't wait to hear this one.
When they first hyped Games for Windows Live, it sounded like something that was going to be on all the time, like the Xbox 360 version of Live. Your 360 buddies know you're on, they can send you invites and all that kind of stuff. Now, what's crap is in the implementation of it, you can only access Games for Windows Live, the actual messaging and all that, when you're in a game. So I have to load up Halo 2, and it signs in. And then I can do the invites to, hey, would you want to come play Halo 2 with me on the PC, even though you're probably on a 360 right now?
If I don't have Halo or Shadowrun, I can't, there's nothing, no kind of interface that I can do.
No. Right now, as it is, you cannot see anyone else online unless you're playing Shadowrun, Halo 2.
Oh, the service itself would almost be worth having, almost. I mean, but seeing as how you pay $50 for it or whatever, you'd think it would just work by itself because you paid $50 for it. And it's almost like a standalone application since you pay $50 for it. What I'm saying?
It would make more sense as its own little application.
Combination of like Xfire and Steam, yeah.
I mean, especially if they're going to charge the players for it. Otherwise, it's like you're basically buying a game and you're saying, I mean, if it's just exclusively available when launching those games, you're basically saying, here's, $49.99 for Halo 2 for Vista, but it's another $50 if you want to play it online. That's what it comes across as. I know you can still play.
You can play Halo 2 online, you just don't get the ranking system. And in Shadowrun, you can play online with other PC players only.
You don't get cross-platforming, you don't get achievements, you don't get true skill matchmaking, so yeah, you can still play online.
Although the bigger news was that I believe last week, Steam is going to have a major bump in their services in July, a big upgrade, where they're actually going to have kind of like a MySpace for gamers on Steam, a built-in voice chat, built-in groups, see what people are playing, see what they've been doing. It's kind of, for all intents and purposes, they're going to have, Steam is going to be like 360 Xbox Live. It's going to be what Games for Windows Live should be.
What should have been. And hopefully that'll give Microsoft a nice little swift kick in the ass to get their stuff in order.
Next topic.
My left sock has been inside out all day today, and I just noticed all day. Ever only shave half of your face? I did that once. I had half of my face shaved. I just sat and looked dejected all day because I just had the one side of my face cupped in my hand while I was sitting at my desk, just sitting. Yeah, what's going on? Yeah, no problem. No, I'm not going to lunch today. I'm going to go home. That's cool. Yeah.
Wow, that's sad.
Can't say I've ever done that one.
God, the worst thing I've ever done is, like, not shaved for a week and then woke up one day, looked in the mirror and said, holy crap, I need to shave. And then forgot.
Yes.
And then got to work, realized I had something important going on that I really needed to have shaved. So ran to Walmart to buy an electric razor so that I could shave really quick, only to realize that electric razors nowadays don't run on batteries. AA batteries, they run on rechargeable batteries, so you have to charge them. So I'm sitting down in our lab, which at the time luckily was in the basement where nobody ever went, trying to shave in like 2-second intervals because that's all the charge that I would let it do before.
Charge.
Yeah. So ran up to like CVS and I was just going to buy a razor and some shaving.
At this point, it's just like this mottled mess on your face.
Right.
You've been shaving in 2-second intervals for the past half hour.
I did kind of look like I was mangy.
You should have just like gone and sold it when you go to buy the razors. Get like that. Like pine air freshener and some jujubes and just throw them all down and be like, hurry up! I've got to get these back to the lab.
So anyway, the end of the story is I happened to find a like cheap $3 portable electric razor that ran on 2 AA batteries, and actually it's the best electric razor I've ever. I don't normally use electric razors, but I keep it in my glove box for those days that.
That's awesome!
Wow.
Anyone ever accidentally used toothpaste instead of hair gel, or vice versa?
Oh no.
I've come close. I've come really close. I've like had the toothpaste squeezed out in my hand, and then went, "What the? Oh, dumbass! Why is my hair gel mint scented?"
Yeah, I accidentally grabbed a bottle of Febreze instead of Windex and washed my old CRT monitor with Febreze. I'm like,
Nice.
why is it streaking so bad? And then I looked, I'm like, oh.
This is the freshest smelling CRT monitor ever.
Way to bring it back to gaming, Phil. Way to bring it back to gaming.
Next topic.
Mailbag.
Mailbag.
Hey all, my brother is wanting to buy an Xbox 360, but which one is better? I know how you guys keep saying how the $400 version is better, but couldn't you just get the $300 core one and then buy a USB hard drive with way more capacity than a 20 gig for under $100 and get a better value? Does the external hard drive require any special formatting, and are there any limitations to having an external hard drive, and are the memory cards any good? Also, core systems do not support wireless controllers, correct? Does that mean we have to buy 4 wired controllers? My brother doesn't play video games very much, but he still wants a 360, so which one would be the cheapest and best value solution? Thanks guys, and by the way, great show. Bryce Johnson.
Yeah, we gotta help Bryce out here because he's not understanding some things.
Yeah, first of all, the core system doesn't come with wireless controllers, but I know it supports them. Don't believe that external hard drives function.
No, they do not function for the main storage device, for games.
Multimedia off of them, movies, music, pictures.
But you can't use them to store anything Xbox related.
Yes, the only supported ones Xbox related are the 20 gigabyte one and the new one which they released.
The 120 gigabyte one.
Probably the way he wants to go right now would be just to go buy the premium.
Yeah, well, no matter how you look at it, it's always best to just get the premium package, because by the time you get everything else up to par for a functional system, you're going to be paying close to that anyway.
For younger folks who don't have a job, I understand it's a lot harder to come up. $100 is a lot of money when you don't have a job, but it's going to wind up being worth it. The memory card will work for some things, but that means you're going to need a whole bunch of memory cards if you want to download more than a few Xbox Live Arcade games.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and those are expensive too, aren't they?
They're like $15, I think.
No, the memory cards are $40.
40? Yeah, that's just ridiculous then. I mean, if you're going to spend $40 on a memory card, you might as well spend the extra
get a hard
Pro
drive
version anyway, yeah, for the hard drive.
And the only other Xbox 360 version out there right now is the Elite, and the only thing that adds to it is the HDMI output. So it depends on if he has a TV that accepts that kind of signal. Actually, Ivan, your TV accepts it, so were you ever thinking about selling your 360 and getting an Elite?
From what I hear, the VGA cable for the Xbox is about as good a quality as the HDMI. If I had an HDMI port on the Xbox, I would use it only because then I would have the extra ports for something else. I still have, I think, 2 gigs free on my hard drive, so the bigger hard drive isn't really a concern right now. I was going to get the newer hard drive, but for $180, that's a lot.
That was actually the one nice thing that Sony did with the PlayStation 3 is that you can actually upgrade the hard drive yourself without having to go buy a really expensive one. You can buy a $90, $100 one and it'll just work. So there you go, Bryce. There are your answers. Okay, and there you guys go for Video Game Show episode number 44 for June 29th, 2007. Any ham sandwiches for the world? Well, I guess we should give one to Duff here for sitting in with us on our fine.
Sure, why not, Duff?
Yay, I need one. My wife's out of town for the weekend, so that's all I'm eating is cold cuts.
Awesome. I have to give a ham sandwich to the Achievement Junkie podcast. And the reason I say that is because I've had it on my iPod for a while, but I don't listen to many podcasts because I have a 3-mile commute from home to work. But recently I've had to get up earlier and drive to pick up my son to take him to daycare, so I have a slightly longer commute, so I've been listening to some podcasts. And I guess it never occurred to me that the Achievement Junkie podcast is usually only less than 15 minutes long. My drive time one way is about 15-20 minutes, so it's actually really cool because I can get an entire podcast in that time frame. So that's worthy of a sandwich.
And as always, send your comments, questions, queries, or concerns to the mailbag at vgs@gamercastnetwork.com. Call us at 320-300-GAME. That is a standard long-distance call, and all normal fees apply. Or Skype us at Video Game Show. So, Bob, how was Pixar's Ratatouille?
I never want to see that movie again.
Really? That good?
Oh, no, they nailed it. Yeah, it's definitely rats crawling all over food. Yeah, it was great. An hour and a half of rats crawling on food. That really looked like rats crawling on food. I have no idea why you'd make a movie about rats crawling on food. Here's a little known fact that I learned watching Dirty Jobs one day. Rats never stop peeing. They're completely incontinent, and that's how they make little trails so they can find their way back to where they were.
Wow.
No, I didn't enjoy the movie.
Shrek doesn't pee on everything.
You get Swamp Sludge, but you know what you're getting, damn it. You don't dress it up. You don't put it on a plate. You don't present it. You don't put it with a side of foie gras. It's a beautiful movie. It really is. But they look just like rats crawling on food. I couldn't get past that. It's a magnificently animated, beautiful movie, but our Fire's better. Just saying.
Why do I picture Bob in a crowded theater of 6 and 7-year-olds and he just starts screaming out, "Your fire sucks!"
Bob's like, you call that dirt and flowers?
You call that dust? Call that water? Actually, it was very nice water. I have no problems with it. just saying. Rats peeing on things. That's... Ugh. It probably isn't going to do that well because Transformers comes out next week. Yeah! Sorry, just had to get that out there.